Morning in Johannesburg. The sun had just touched the roof tiles. Then a scream rang out from the tall trees. In an instant, the whole neighborhood was in chaos. Groups of baboons rushed down the street like a whirlwind. They jumped onto roofs, clung to cars, snatched shopping bags from shoppers, then rummaged through trash cans that still smelled of food. The deafening sound mixed with the clanging of metal. A seemingly peaceful morning has now become a battlefield between humans and wild instincts. Here, no one is surprised anymore. South Africans are used to this chaos, where baboons are no longer a symbol of African nature. What do you think if a peaceful morning suddenly turns into chaos like this? Leave your opinion in the comments section below. According to a report by the South African Department of Environment and Tourism, more than 500,000 baboons live across South Africa. They are everywhere, from Limpopo, KwaZulu-Natal, to the outskirts of Johannesburg. Densities are only about 20-30 individuals per km squared. But on the edges of farms, that number doubles. On the same stretch of land, up to 60 compete for resources. Too much pressure for a closed ecosystem. The reasons are clear. Forests are disappearing. Droughts are lasting. Climate change is drying up rivers, stripping trees of their leaves, and destroying food. The monkeys had no choice. They had to move into residential areas. There, food was abundant and easy to find. Gradually, the boundary between the forest and the city disappeared. Nature encroached on human life. And humans, unintentionally, became part of their journey of survival. Baboons are very smart. They know how to open trash can lids, turn door knobs, even coordinate to distract humans.
Inside, outside, fucking everywhere. And I'm trapped. This thing is huge.
An adult male weighs up to 40 kilograms. Canine teeth are more than 5 centimeters long, sharp as knives. Just 1 pounce is enough to cause serious injury. They rarely travel alone. Each group consists of 5 to 10 individuals. The male leader has absolute command. When there is danger, he makes a short, sharp hiss. Immediately, the whole group reacts in unison.
Whoa!
Disciplined, intelligent, and cohesive. That is their strength. It is also the reason why control becomes almost impossible. Each year, the damage exceeds 25 million USD. They destroy gardens, steal fruit, attack livestock. Some cases even injure people in the suburbs. In 2024 alone, there were more than 400 monkey attacks. Most of them occurred in the early morning and noon. When the monkeys left the forest, and entered the human world.
Your license is approved.
Faced with the increasingly fierce wave of encroachment, the South African government was forced to act. A controlled hunting order was issued, between protecting people and maintaining ecological balance. No one is allowed to carry guns. Only specially licensed hunters are allowed to participate. They must be over 21 years old, have a legal firearms license and safety certificate issued by the Wildlife Management Department. All hunting is only allowed in suburban and rural areas, where monkey density is high and conflicts occur frequently. In the field, hunters use semi-automatic rifles caliber 270 or 308 Winchester. Bullets with high penetration and high accuracy ensure to take down the target at a distance of 100-200 meters. Every shot must be accurate and fast, not only to end the suffering of the animal, but also to demonstrate ecological responsibility.
He's dead.
No one is allowed to shoot arbitrarily. By law, only adult monkeys are allowed to be killed. Baby monkeys and pregnant monkeys are absolutely protected. Because even when hunting, humanity must be maintained.
That's how you do it.
Dawn is breaking in the hills outside KwaZulu-Natal. The air is dry and cold. The hunters move slowly along the path between the two slopes of wild grass. In the distance, the sound of baboons echoes. The monkeys are feeding on the edge of the farm. The group of hunters stops, kneel down behind a large rock. The hunter slowly raised his gun. He took a deep breath. In the scope, the male monkey's figure gradually became clearer. Broad shoulders, thick grey fur, yellow eyes shining in the sunlight. The distance was more than 120 meters. His fingers tightened slightly. The explosion resounded in the air. The leader jerked violently, fell, and lay still. The remaining group fled in panic. The cry echoed across the hillside.
Scared of something. They're stuck.
The hunter stood up. slowly walked toward the carcass. He examined the wound. The bullet had penetrated the chest, clean and precise. This was not a hunt for fame. It was part of an invasive species control campaign.
Good.
However, not everyone agrees with this approach. Many conservation organizations have spoken out against it. They believe that even controlled hunting can still have unintended consequences. They worry that the number of baboons will decline rapidly, disrupt the natural food chain, and have consequences for predators such as leopards or eagles. One link disappears. The whole ecosystem can be shaken.
I know, I see him.
Response: environmental experts say that limited control is necessary. Otherwise, the damage to agriculture and communities will be even worse. What about you? Which side do you stand on in this debate between absolute conservation or limited control? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Not just guns and bullets. Many parts of South Africa have switched to large-scale cage traps. Each is more than 5 meters long, 4 meters wide, and nearly 3.5 meters high, enough to hold a group of 5 to 7 fish at a time.
Lele. Pindre lega pindre.
Inside, bananas, apples, or ripe mangoes are placed as bait. When the first monkey steps on the pedal, the steel door slams shut. The whole group is trapped. These traps are placed at the edge of the forest, near fruit orchards, where monkeys often appear. A campaign can capture 30-40 monkeys in just a few days. They are tranquilized, examined, and then moved to a sanctuary.
Baboon hunting.
The campaign has lasted 2 years, according to a 2022 report. More than 2,000 wild monkeys have been killed or captured, about 15% of the population in high-risk areas. Attacks on humans have dropped by nearly 30%, but the damage to agriculture has not stopped. On the dry fields of Texas, as the sun rises over the horizon, farmers begin their workday like any other. But in parallel, a silent war is still going on every morning. The enemy is not human. It is the red fox, faster, smarter, and more dangerous than people think. Red foxes have been living in North America for thousands of years. They once lived deep in the forests. Humans expanded agriculture, cut down forests, built farms. Grasslands stretched out. Garbage and food waste were everywhere. Red foxes adapted faster than any other species. They turned agricultural areas into their own territories. There was never a shortage of food. Among the alien species that threaten the Australian ecosystem, the red fox is the name that makes the whole country alert. Cunning, adaptable and resilient, the red fox has become a living testament to the power of nature when it loses its inherent balance. They move in silence, hunting with the precision of instincts honed over thousands of years of evolution. Not noisy, not aggressive, but the consequences they leave behind are extremely far-reaching. With the ability to reproduce explosively, in just a few years, the number of red foxes increased by millions, flooding grasslands, farms, and even the once peaceful forests. No small creature can escape their clutches, from poultry to small birds and even rare marsupials.
No chance too.
No, I think it's done there.
Farmers lost their crops and hunters had to carry guns and infrared lights, patrolling the dusty fields every night.
Got him! Heck of a shot.
Gunshots echoed in the darkness, lights swept across the glowing eyes of the war between humans and foxes that was going on every night, without mercy. Now, Australia is facing a harsh reality. Native nature is being devoured by alien species every day. The origin of the disaster called Red Fox began with the passion for hunting of humans.
Tally ho! Hooray! Let's ride! Let's ride!
At the end of the 19th century, when British settlers arrived in Australia, they brought the red fox with them for the simple purpose of serving sport hunting. But no one expected that the pastime of the aristocracy would open a dark chapter in the ecological history of the entire continent. In the new environment, the red fox had almost no natural enemies. The temperate climate, abundant food sources, and the amazing reproductive ability of a female that could give birth to 2 litters per year, each litter of up to 10 pups helped them multiply rapidly beyond control. Within a few decades, millions had spread across the southern and central states, from Victoria to New South Wales, destroying crops and decimating native animals that had never feared this predator. They had no need for strength. They won with adaptation and intelligence. At night, packs of red foxes crept through grasslands, forest edges, and even suburban villages, leaving behind only feathers, blood, and the screeching of chickens. No other exotic predator has caused as much damage to Australia as the red fox. Once introduced for entertainment, they have now become the continent's #1 ecological threat. According to Australian government estimates, there are more than 7.2 million red foxes living across the country, with a range stretching from southern states like Victoria and New South Wales to the arid central west. Each year, red fox packs kill about 300 million native animals, including birds, chickens, hares, small marsupials, and even rare species like bilbies and bettongs. A series of native animals that have never faced this type of predator are on the brink of extinction. Statistics from the Department of Environment and Energy show that at least 20 native species have completely disappeared, mainly due to the spread of red foxes. Not only do they kill wildlife, red foxes also cause economic damage of more than $200 million a year, including slaughtered poultry, lost livestock, and population control costs. They sneak into farms, dig up chicken coops, and slaughter entire flocks in one night just to satisfy their hunting instincts. What do you think when a species brought for entertainment has now become Australia's biggest ecological disaster? Leave your comments below. Ecologists call the red fox the perfect predator, compact, agile, highly adaptable, and with an excellent memory. They operate alone at night, avoid traps, recognize human scent, and even change routes when they feel they are being watched. In the middle of a scorching hot afternoon, the grasslands of South Australia seem to be smoking. The sound of off-road vehicle engines tore through the silence. The red fox hunters began their pursuit in broad daylight, working with the government's ecological control force in a giant campaign of war between humans and Australia's most cunning predator. From the sky, drones circled, scanning the ground with infrared cameras, detecting fast-moving heat spots in the bushes. On the ground, smart traps with GPS were set along the trails, waiting for the right moment. A short whistle sounded, signaling that the signal had been sent. The hunting team immediately deployed their formation, rifles raised, scopes reflecting the dazzling sunlight. In front, a red fox appeared and disappeared among the grass, its eyes shining, its body moving quickly like a trail of smoke. The hunter closed in, held his breath, tightened the trigger, bang. The bullet tore through the air, dust flew everywhere. The animal disappeared into the grass, leaving behind a faint trail of footprints leading to the trap that had been set. At the edge of the forest, 1,080 poison baits were scattered in a controlled manner, marked with GPS coordinates. A precise battlefield down to the centimetre. Everything happened quickly, neatly, and no mistakes were allowed. In the blazing sunlight, the hunt was no longer a game, but a battle to regain the right to survive on their own land. The battle between humans and red foxes had no winners, because the real enemy was not the animals, but the imbalance created by humans. Only by knowing how to stop and respect the limits of nature can humans coexist with all species in a harmonious ecosystem. This hunt has no winners, only valuable lessons. What do you think about how humans control invasive species? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow the most dramatic and true survival stories.